Your person's karmic contracts are finally coming to an end, marking a significant shift in their life. For what feels like a long time, they have been trapped under the influence of a karmic force, unable to break free from the control that held them captive. This karmic energy had a firm grip on them, keeping them stuck in unhealthy patterns, clouding their judgment, and preventing them from seeing things clearly. It caused them to play mind games, not just with you, but also with themselves. However, this cycle of manipulation is now losing its power, and your person is slowly breaking free. They are beginning to regain their sense of self and clarity, and as this happens, they are starting to realize just how important you are in their life. The distance between you, which they once either ignored or were indifferent to, has become something they can no longer tolerate. They now fully understand the value of your presence and the unique bond that you share. Being apart from you is not something they want anymore. It has started to bother them deeply, even on a subconscious level. They are filled with a sense of urgency to close the gap that has grown between you, emotionally and perhaps physically as well. They are feeling compelled to return to you, not just to reconnect, but to make things right. They know that they owe you justice, and they are ready to give it to you. Looking back, your person is filled with regret. There was a time when they were juggling you with other options, whether it was other people, situations, or distractions in their life. These other options could have been anything: another romantic interest, a career opportunity, or personal baggage that kept them from fully committing to you. At the time, they thought they were making the best choices for themselves, but now they see things differently. The realization has hit them hard that the decisions they made were not only wrong but also hurtful to you. They now see how their actions caused pain and distance in your relationship, and they are overwhelmed with guilt. This guilt is weighing heavily on them. They feel responsible for the situation that unfolded between you two, and the burden of their past mistakes is something they can no longer ignore. The silence from your side has only amplified their guilt. Your decision to pull back, whether intentionally or because of circumstances, has had a significant impact on them. They are starting to realize that they took your presence for granted and underestimated how much you mean to them. Now, with you being silent, it's causing them a great deal of tension and anxiety. They are wondering if you will ever give them another chance, and the fear of losing you for good is something that is constantly on their mind. Despite this fear, they know that they can no longer stay idle. They feel the need to take action and come forward to express what's on their mind and heart. Even though they are worried about how you might react or whether you will be open to hearing them out, they know they have to try. They are ready to explain their side of the story, and they want to share the thoughts and feelings they've kept hidden for so long. They understand that communication is the only way to move forward, and they are preparing themselves to open up in a way they never have before. On a telepathic or spiritual level, you and your person may have always shared a deep connection. However, lately, there has been less communication between you two, whether in the form of conversations, energy exchanges, or even subtle signs that you are still connected. This lack of communication has left your person feeling unsettled. They are used to sensing your energy, feeling your presence, even when you aren't physically together, but now that connection feels weaker. This disconnection is driving them crazy, as they are unable to tap into that sense of closeness that once brought them comfort. It's another reason they feel compelled to reach out and re-establish the bond. They are also grappling with fear of what might happen if they come forward, and fear of what will happen if they don't. They worry that you may not understand them, that their explanations or apologies might not be enough to heal the wounds of the past. Vulnerability is not something they are used to, especially with others, but with you, they feel different. They find it difficult to hide their true self from you because of the connection you share. This vulnerability scares them, yet at the same time, it drives them to be honest and open in ways they haven't been with anyone else. Despite all their fears and worries, your person's desire to be part of your life again is stronger than anything else. They are willing to take the risk of being vulnerable, and they hope that you will give them the chance to make things right. This journey of realization and transformation has brought them back to you, and they are ready to do whatever it takes to restore the connection you once shared. This time, you've been silent for so long that it's becoming harder for me to stay calm. At first, I tried not to let it bother me, tried to brush it off as just a temporary pause, maybe something normal, but the longer your silence stretches, the more my mind starts to spiral. I'm trying not to freak out, but I can't stop my thoughts from wandering to the worst possibilities. I find myself asking, again and again, if I've hurt you more than I ever realized. Have I said or done something that pushed you away? Were my words too harsh, too careless, and now you feel like you need distance from me? The thought of that alone is terrifying, but the silence makes it so much worse because I don't know what you're thinking. I keep questioning myself, wondering if I've made you sad or disappointed. Have I caused you pain in a way I didn't even see coming? It's that uncertainty that's eating at me. I've always thought we could talk about anything, that we could work through things together, but now it feels like that connection we used to share is slipping through my fingers. I'm worried that you no longer have faith in my promises. Maybe you've grown tired of hearing my words without seeing enough action behind them, or maybe you've simply lost the will to focus on me the way you used to. Your energy feels different now, and it's hard to ignore. It's not something I noticed overnight, but it's been building up over time. In the past few months, you've seemed more and more detached, like you're here with me physically, but your mind, your emotions, are somewhere far away. That distance between us is agonizing, and I don't know how to bridge it. I keep replaying old conversations in my head, trying to pinpoint where things started to shift. What did I do wrong? Was there a moment when I should have listened more closely, acted differently, or expressed my feelings better? These thoughts, they don't leave me alone. They're constantly swirling in my mind, distracting me from everything else in my life. It's like I can't fully focus on anything because in the back of my mind, there's always this nagging sense of worry and unease. It's affecting me more than I want to admit, making me feel stressed, irritable, and on edge in my day-to-day life. I'm finding it harder to enjoy the things I used to because all I can think about is what's happening between us, or worse, what might happen. The thought of you slipping away completely is unbearable. I desperately want to talk to you, to reach out and find some way to reconnect. But right now, you feel so untouchable, like there's a wall between us that I can't break through. I don't know how to reach you, how to get you to open up to me the way you used to. It feels like everything is different this time, like you're farther away from me than you've ever been before. And that scares me more than anything. I don't know how to handle this feeling, the one that keeps creeping up on me, telling me that I've lost you, or that I'm losing you. It's overwhelming, and no matter how hard I try to push those thoughts away, they keep coming back. I can't handle the idea of losing you forever, and yet, that's what it feels like sometimes. This silence between us, the emotional distance, it feels like I'm losing you in slow motion, and I don't know how to stop it. Nothing I do seems to distract me from the thought of you. Nothing can numb the feeling of your absence, the emptiness that's taken over now that you're not there in the same way. It's like you're everywhere, in everything I do, but at the same time, you're nowhere. Every place I go, every routine I follow, reminds me of you, and the silence that now lingers between us only amplifies that feeling. You're not just a part of my life, you're woven into every part of my being, and without you, everything feels incomplete. I don't know how to make things right or how to close the distance between us, but I want to try. I want to fix this, to talk to you, to understand what's going on in your heart. I miss the way things were, the way we were, and I don't want to lose that. More than anything, I need you to know that I'm still here, still fighting for us, even if right now it feels like I'm fighting against a wall of silence. You are the reason why everyone in my life has started to notice that I'm changing. People close to me keep commenting on how different I seem, more focused, more intense, and more driven. What they don't know is that it's all because of you. I've realized that there's nothing in this world that can stop me from coming toward you now. I've thought it through 100 times, and I know this is what I need to do. I'm back in the game, and this time, I'm not playing around. I want all your attention, just like before, because I've come to understand how much you mean to me. When you walked away, I never truly believed it would be for good. I kept telling myself that it was just a temporary separation, that we'd find our way back to each other. But as time passed and you didn't return, it hit me, this wasn't temporary. You were gone, and I was left here, alone, feeling emptier than I ever thought possible. I tried to fill that emptiness with other things, with distractions, with work, with people, but nothing worked. It was only then that I realized just how powerful you are, how much of a hold you have on my heart, on my life. I was a fool to let you walk away, to not fight harder to keep you by my side. I've spent a lot of time reflecting on what went wrong. I've gone over our last moments together, the way things seemed to unravel, and I know now that I didn't fully appreciate you. I didn't see the value of what we had until it was too late. It all feels so chaotic right now, like everything is spinning out of control, but at the same time, I can't help but feel that this chaos is part of something bigger. It's part of a process of extreme purification. I'm going through it, and it's painful, but I know it's necessary. I need to strip away everything that's been holding me back, all the doubts, all the fear, and become the person I was always meant to be, the person who's ready for you. I've thought about reaching out to you so many times, but every time, I hesitated. I told myself that you needed space, that maybe you didn't want to hear from me. But now, looking back, I realize that was a mistake. I should have reached out sooner. I should have told you how I feel, told you that I miss you, that I need you. I'm sorry that I didn't. I'm sorry that I stayed silent for so long, letting time pass without making an effort to fix things. I know that might have hurt you, and for that, I truly apologize. It wasn't that I didn't care, I just didn't know how to express what I was feeling. I was lost in my own confusion. But I want you to know that I haven't given up hope. I still believe that we are meant to be together. There's a connection between us that's deeper than anything I've ever known. It's like water and dust, they may be separated for a time, but eventually, they come together again, drawn to each other by an undeniable force. That's how I feel about us. No matter how much time has passed, no matter how far apart we've been, I believe that we're destined to find our way back to each other. I can't imagine a future without you in it. The thought of living the rest of my life without your presence, without your love, is unbearable. I know I made mistakes in the past, but I've learned from them. I've grown, and I'm still growing. I'm going through a transformation, becoming the person I need to be in order to give you the love and attention you deserve. I want to be that person for you. I want to be the one who stands by your side, who supports you, who makes you feel loved and cherished every day. I understand if you're hesitant. I understand if you're unsure about whether or not to let me back into your life. But I promise you, if you give me another chance, I won't let you down. I'll do whatever it takes to make things right between us, to rebuild the trust that was broken. I know it won't be easy, and I know it will take time, but I'm willing to put in the work because you're worth it. You've always been worth it. So, please, don't be upset or sad about the time we've lost. Let's focus on the future, on what we can still build together. I believe in us, in our love, and I know deep down, you believe in it too. Let's not let this chance slip away. We were always meant to be together, and I'm ready now to make that a reality.